All right, here is the fig roll up. I'm using half of a Pro Mix bag, cut out, flattened. I got my soil mix here that I make up myself. A couple pieces of tape for when it rolls up. I have my fig cuttings, towel to kneel on. Ideally this would be on a bench, but I don't have an available bench right now. And pruning shears, rooting hormone, and some water with some mosquito bits in it to spray on here. So here we go. So first I'm just gonna take the soil and put it all over the Pro Mix bag. My soil, I make it so it's like basically as dry as possible, but I want it to be just wet enough that it'll hold together when I squeeze it. So I'll show you here. When I squeeze it, kind of holds together just a little bit, not a lot. Let's speed this up a little bit here. All right. I don't know, I'm putting down a good amount here, and then I'll do the cuttings on top, and then I will I'll put a little bit more soil on top of that after putting the cuttings down. Okay, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space at the top because I don't want the cuttings to be completely under. So, and I do want the soil to go all the way to the bottom, so I actually hold my hand here at the bottom and kind of compact it a little bit. I like my soil to be a little bit compacted. It just holds together better that way for me. That was one of my kids' swords in the garage, which has really become their play thing, storage area. You know how it is. Okay. Just a little bit more right there. Just a little bit more right here. You can always add a little bit of soil on the bottom too after it's rolled up. Okay, that's good. And I'll show you how I put down one of the cuttings just so you can get a sense of it. So what I like to do is I cut my cuttings so they get a nice fresh cut. And then I give them a little scrape on the side. And then I give them a little dip in the rooting hormone. And then I scrape off the extra rooting hormone. I am not sanitary about this like a lot of people are. I just kind of do it. I want at least one node above the soil level. In this case, I think I'm gonna have 2 above the soil and 2 below. And then I'm gonna kind of press it in to my soil a little bit. And I'm gonna do that all along here. So I'm gonna pause the video for a second so I can do all of those, and then I will come back. All right, got all the cuttings on here. I press them all into the soil a little bit. I write the label of all of them right on top. I leave a note or 2 above the soil line. And then I'm going to put some soil on top of that. But first, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of my mycorrhizal on here. Just a tiny bit of the mycorrhizal, and all, you know, up in there. I got like just one pinch of it, and I think that this is going to be probably more than enough. Okay. Yep. There we go. All right. And then after that, what I like to do is I want the bottom to be a little bit more moist than the rest of it. That's where I want the roots to grow to, is the bottom. Also, I don't want the bottom to all fall out when I roll it up. So I'm just going to spray some water on the bottom here. Actually, I got to put more soil down first, so a little early in doing that. All right, so now I'm just going to put some more soil on top. And I am low on soil, so I'm actually just going to put the bare amount here, just enough to barely cover all of them is my goal right now. Since I'm low on soil, that'll probably be enough. Okay. All right. Covered. It all a little packed in there, just so it's nice and not going anywhere. All right. Soil on the bottom to kind of even it all out. Okay, all right. Okay. I think that's going to do it. That's all the soil, so it's mostly even throughout the whole thing. The last little bit. Okay. All right, so in total here, I'll do a quick count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 cuttings. I would say my spacing is about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. If I had more time, I'd probably do 3 inches or more, but this is all the time I have right now, so. Okay, for this, we're just gonna roll her up. So, starting on this end, just start to roll. Oh, there's one more step I forgot. Just spray out the bottom of it. So the reason I spray the bottom is I don't want the bottom soil to fall out. And I think if it's a little bit more moist, it'll all stay in just a little bit better. There's also mosquito bits in this water, so if I do have any fungus gnats, it'll help with that. Overall, that didn't really change the soil moisture, just the very surface of it. Okay, here we go with the roll. Okay, it's kind of like rolling up a sleeping bag. If you've ever rolled up a sleeping bag before, it's kind of like that. I will just kind of do it the best I can. And things are going to move a little bit as I do it, but I'm trying to keep it pretty tight because I don't want a bunch of soil to fall out of the bottom. But some is going to inevitably. All right, here we go. And it rolls up pretty nicely, actually. They, for the most part, stay right where I put them. Okay. And then the pro tip, so when you get to the end, you want to have your tape already ready to go. Okay. All right. Grab the tape. Boom. There's one. Put it on there, nice and tight. Boom, there's two, put it on there, nice and tight. And then while I have the soil right here, I'm just gonna pack a little bit more into the bottom, just so that, I mean, it's mostly It's mostly in there, but I just don't want all the soil falling out of the bottom. So I'm just kind of compressing it a little bit there. And if something falls out, it just is what it is. All right. And then I go back to the top and give it all a nice little shake. Kind of even it out a little bit. And there we go. There you have it. Fig roll up. Okay. After this, it's just going to go to a plastic garbage bag. I kind of pat the top a little bit so it's not dirty on top. And I'm just going to stick it inside the garbage bag. Right. I want to leave it with the top kind of open, or not open, but the top that has the closure mechanism here. So I'll kind of close it up for now. It's going to go outside and it'll, you know, the humidity will stay pretty good in there, I think, with that closed like that. And that's it. All right, enjoy.